first. Because last trailer, the recent trailer for 3.1, we did saw Catherine get stabbed, right? So yes, since Catherine is, well, for the storyline, the main traveler find out that Catherine is from Shesnaya, and the closest way to Shesnaya is through Fontaine. But Fontaine is gonna force us to go back to Natlet. because we're gonna need an army to actually fight the Fatui. They are super ready for all of us. They're extremely ready. Everything they do, there's like one step ahead of us. Dotori was already in Sumeru before we even knew the pathway to Sumeru while we're doing our conquest in the chasm. Dotori was already in Sumeru. And we have no idea for how long. Well, we're all thinking, what happened to Scaramouche? Dotori is already in Sumeru. He doesn't give a flying fuck. They already planned out. All the story that we have here is more than 6 months ahead of us, okay? Right now, we're talking about Kusanali and how the Archon quest and what it's going to do to the sages. Dude, Natlan's story has been being written right now. Natlan's story is being written right now. Fontaine is already completed. Natlan's story has been started right now. And then we're going to go to Fontaine, or we're going to start to theorizing Fontaine. No, that's how MiHoYo does. Because here's the proof though. Before Genshin, Gun Girl Z came out. Gun Girl Z was among the first game that actually blew up their name in the mobile community. When the game became popular, the first thing they did was create a manga section. That was a bit weird. You know, they don't do any contest to who's the better player. They made a fucking website that has manga on it. A comic for a little backstory of what the Honkai is. And then Honkai came in a year after. Nobody gives a flying fuck about it because we thought it's just a side story, because people playing the Gun Girl Z who saw the same character in the manga didn't think much about it because it doesn't fit the storyline that they are playing. You know, they're currently playing. It's not Gun Girl Z story. It's somehow different. And so it's like, people thought it's just a side story, you know, it's just a little side event. Nobody bat an eye until the next year, Honkai Impact 3rd came in using the same character. Then that's where we realized that that manga was an introduction of everything that is Honkai. And then during Honkai time, yeah, the manga section of Genshin was out. Why would they put Impact on that? Because I think they had the idea when we have all the player base was just talking about how the whole thing is like the previous Archon, the previous Valkyrie, the previous era. We want these backstories, the origins of all this Honkai universe. And they come up with Genshin Impact. And that's when my own theories think that Genshin technically is the origin of all the Honkai players that are playing right now. Although they're doing it in a multi-universe, so they're doing it in a multi-universe and bubble universe style, so therefore they don't have to put a timeline, and they can just do it on a scattered timeline, and it will still work. The story will become a story on its own, just like Gun Girl Z. Gun Girl Z story is a story on its own. You can play Gun Girl Z without playing everything else and still know that it's still a Honkai story. And when you play Honkai, you don't play Honkai, you know it's the same story. But yes, it happens differently. It has a different route. It had more different characters in it. But it's technically Honkai 2. Honkai 3rd. Yeah, Gun Girl Z technically is Honkai 2. Not 1. Where's 1? And that's the question that I had, but was never really answered by any of the player base. I had that question, where was Honkai 1 and 2? Because when Honkai Impact 3 was bombarded in my face, I wanted to know, where's 1 and 2? I couldn't find it, and I found Gun Girl Z. Of course, that's the global name. The Japanese name is Honkai Gokuen 2. So why 2? If that's Honkai 2, where's Honkai 1? I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it at all. We might be playing Honkai 1. That's the first theory that I thought that Genshin is actually might be the origin of Honkai. But that's why it's so tied together with whatever we experience in Honkai, because history repeating itself nonsense that is any anime has their trope. And that's why we can theorize that Honkai are connected and related. But then Ai-chan actually kind of, I don't know whether she's trolling us like she did on the few April Fool year, when player asked, is Genshin gonna be collabing with Honkai, Yeah, everything has been pre-written, including gameplay mechanics and character kit. Including that, because this is not their first game. They have so much. They've been doing this for more than 5 years, 10 years to be exact. They failed once. They did Gun Go Z, so they planned this. They have so many resources and to look into to references as. So when we all see, okay, Colay's Amber is so bad. No, so why is Amber so bad? Why is Lisa this so bad? And why is Xingyan this so buggy? We all complain about their kit being not perfect. It's because we've been playing the game wrong. That's it.